classes here at St. Pius Castle invite you all to share with us scenes from the world of William Shakespeare, the greatest poet and playwright the world has ever known. William Shakespeare lived during the golden age of England, when this small island country was ruled by the greatest monarch it has ever had, the marvelous Queen Elizabeth I, who dazzled her people with her tremendous talent, energy, and cleverness. She loved her people, and they loved her in return. They called her Gloriana, or Good Queen Bess. She recognized the genius of William Shakespeare and invited him and his actors to perform at her castles many times. This evening, we are going to begin our performance with two scenes from the great tragedy Macbeth. It is intriguing to know how Shakespeare came to write this play and how it ties in with English history. When Queen Elizabeth died, she left no children to inherit the throne. Her closest relative was King James of Scotland. He was brought over to become King James of England as well. He was a rather strange kind of person. He was very intrigued by the supernatural world and even wrote a book about witches and ghosts and goblins. But he loved the theater, and he honored William Shakespeare and his actors by proclaiming them the king's men. We believe Shakespeare wrote this tragedy, Macbeth, to appeal to the interests of this new ruler of England. In our first scene, it is a stormy night on a meadow in Scotland. There is fog and mist, and there are 5 ugly witches gathering around a cauldron because they have determined that their next piece of evil will be the downfall and destruction of the greatest hero in all of Scotland, the fine general Macbeth. They intend to plant the seed of ambition in his brain to provoke him into doing things that will eventually bring about his own downfall. In the second scene, you will meet Macbeth. He is returning on this same stormy night to his camp after a victorious battle against the King of Norway. He is traveling with his best friend and fellow general, Banquo, and 6 of his most honored soldiers. They intend to travel on after warming themselves at the campfire to Macbeth's castle, named Glamis, because he is the Thane of Glamis and owner of all that territory. But they are startled by the witches. So come with us now and listen to this exciting scene as the witches lure Macbeth onto his pathway of destruction. And remember, Macbeth rhymes with death, just as Shakespeare had planned it.
Stop Macbeth. God! Witches! Those are witches! What are these, so withered and wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it? You seem to understand me. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. That sounds so fair. In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner you greet with present grace, noble prediction and royal hope, so that you seem rapt with awe. To me you speak not. If you can put me through the seeds of time, speak then to me.
Shakespeare, we establish the goals we hope to achieve together. We would like to share them with you early in the program, so you will have an understanding of how hard our young actors are working to achieve these ends. You see, we are not just studying the beautiful poetry of William Shakespeare, the colorful characters, the exciting plays, and the thrilling times in which he lived, but most of all, we are learning the basic skills in acting and public speaking, so that from now on, whether these young people have to give a report in class, speak at church, run for student office, or give a talk at an athletic banquet, they will have criteria with which to judge what elements go into good speech habits. And with these skills, the life of each student can become happier and more successful. These are our true aims with this undertaking.
So that the person in the last row of the audience can hear us. Number 2. To enunciate, which means to speak clearly and to say the endings as well as the beginnings of the words so they can be understood by the audience. Number 3. To support our fellow actors so they can feel comfortable and do their best. Number.
Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. But man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as makes the angels weep.
At the wedding of the Duke of Athens, the very kind ruler of their city, who has invited all of the subjects of his realm to these festivities. These mechanicals are bright in their own way, but they are innocent to the ways of the world. They are very unsophisticated. The name of the play that they have chosen is Pyramus and Thisbe, one that everyone knew in those days, all about a young man named Pyramus who fell in love with a young lady named Thisbe, but they were of enemy families and could only meet at nightfall when there is a moon out and they had to talk through a hole or a chink in the wall. And at one point, Thisbe is frightened away by a lion in the forest. So as they come out into this clearing away from their friends so they can have privacy for this first rehearsal, Quince the old carpenter is assigning the roles with comedic effect. So, the mechanical in the forest.
This looks like a good place for our rehearsal. Yes, it does. Sure are lots of trees around here.
Yes, this will give us some privacy for our rehearsal. Ease all takes of our company here.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do I present? A wall. Our wall. And this, the cranny is bright and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper.
Liza, move
It's
your head back.
down. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones. Kiss, 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 kiss. Thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
our entire cast of actors. First, we would would like to call upon one of them to commend Shakespeare with a quote. Jeremy?
His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
Thank you, Jeremy. Our next quotation will be delivered by Teresa, and this one is dedicated to all of the teachers and the parents here at this school who made this all possible.
But a good heart, friend, is the sun and the moon. For the sun shines brightly and never changes, but keeps his course truly.
Thank you. At this point, we want to thank the teachers first. We would like to thank Kathy Fields when she first talked to us last year about coming. This is our second year. We were impressed with her enthusiasm and her arranging for all of the things that we need to do our job. We were delighted to have Miss Curry again with us, and you know her for her enthusiasm, and you know she's a good actress, and she is amazingly helpful with us with all these things that we have to do. A delight was Mrs. Berman, who is a new addition to our faculty. And she was equally as delighted to see everything. This is wrapping paper that has rosemary and thyme on it, very carefully chosen. Thank you. Just go, the top just comes off. Genuine Nottingham lace is a gift of beauty and joy forever from the world of lace. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I gotta wear it right now. But come on, what is it? Oh my
This is
sis.
a sheet of lace that came from England, and on it has quotes and scenes from some of Shakespeare's finest works.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? This is wonderful. Oh my goodness. I also wanted to thank all of these parents that have come to help us each day. It takes a terrific staff of helpers